Okay, so this video is going to kind of help walk you through slides 2-6 for today's portion of the science review. And so this review is for your science quarter exam next week. In 2 weeks. And so I'm going to do some of them with you, and then some of them I'll just kind of explain to you what you need to do, and then I'll go back and grade your answers later, because there's a lot of this that I do want you to try on your own. So I'm just going to provide some guidance here on several of the slides. So for example, for this first one, it's kind of complicated. So I'm going to do the first question with you and kind of help you get the hang of what we're doing. And then you'll be expected to do these questions on your own, and then I'll go back and grade those after you're done. Okay, so we're using our scribble tool to trace the circuit maze and answer each question. So my scribble tool is up here. You might see it like that. It might have the line on it, and then you'll just click the arrow and go down to your scribble tool, and then you'll have this little plus sign. All right, so the question is, closing which switches would cause only the red bulbs to be lit? So I only want the red bulbs, so I need to take a look at my maze for a minute and first find all the red bulbs. There's one. There's two. Okay, so there's only two. So my job is to start on the starting line. So remember when we trace circuits, I know it was back at the beginning of the quarter when we did this, but try to remember back. When you're tracing complicated circuits, you always want to start on one side of the battery, and your goal is to try to make it through the light bulbs and to the other side of the battery. And depending on your question, that tracing helps you answer it. So for our question, we don't need to worry about whether or not it's a complete circuit. We're not trying to figure out if the bulbs will light. We are trying to make the bulbs light. So we want to pick the switches that will need to be closed in order to light those bulbs. So really all you're having to do is figure out what switches are connected to the circuits with the red bulbs, if that makes sense. So it's going to make more sense after we do one together. Okay, so with your scribble tool, what you do is you are going to click and hold, and then you just start moving your scribble tool like you would with a pen. And so I'm going through the first bulb, and I'm trying to find my way, and I only want the red bulb, so I can't go through a path that includes any other colors of light bulbs. And I can go down this way, and I'm through the second bulb, and now I'm back at the battery. Okay, and then you let go, and it gives you your line that you created. So now all I have to do is figure out which switches I used. I used 4, and I used 7. And so that's my answer, is I just need to close 4 and 7. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the second one with you. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that because that's a gimme one. Which color will never be lit? So that one's really easy. Look at the maze and see which light bulbs are not completely connected to the circuit. So that should be an easy one. Let me do 3 with you. All right, so again, we're using our scribble tool, so I'm going to click it. And now I'm looking for the blue light bulb. So same steps as the first question. Now I'm doing it for the blue light bulbs. So I've got a blue bulb here. And it looks like that's it. So I just have one blue bulb that I need to get to. And it says, if you read carefully, it says only the blue bulb. So that means I cannot travel through any other light bulbs. I have to find a path that goes only through the blue bulb and does not light up any other light bulbs. So if you notice here, I can't take this path. Even though it would take me to the blue bulb, that would also light up the red bulb, and I can't do that. So I've got to find a path that only goes through the blue light bulb, and then I need to figure out what switches are attached to that path. So I click on Start. I'm going to trace up. I'm going to go this way because there are no bulbs here. I'm going to get through the blue one. Okay, now I'm stopping so I can look for a minute to see which way I need to go. If I go this way, I'm going to run into another light bulb. So I need to come back out. I need to go down. And then I'm able to go through this switch, up, over, and back to the battery. So there's my path. So I used 3, 2, and 8. So you're just going to type those in, 3, 2, and 8. Okay, so that's all you're doing. So those, I gave you the answers for those. You're going to do these other 4 questions on your own, and then I'll grade them. All right, slide 3 you're going to do on your own, and then I will grade it. You are just dragging and dropping the pictures under the correct spot. So remember, a series circuit is a singular path. So a series circuit is one path shared by all light bulbs. Parallel circuits are multiple paths, and each light bulb has its own path. And because it has its own path, they are able to light even when one other bulb burns out. So keep that in mind. So you're just dragging and dropping each picture into the correct column. And I'll come back and look at those and grade those. For slide 4, this is super simple. You're just going to type in 3 examples for each. So 3 examples of mechanical energy, like one could be running, and then I want you to come up with 2 more. And so you're just doing that for each one. You could, for electrical, you're going to type in 3 things that are examples of electrical energy, 3 examples of light energy, 3 examples of thermal. Remember, thermal is heat, and then sound. Okay, and I am going to do the bottom with you. So I'm going to answer this bottom question with you. So sound is produced, remember, sound is produced by vibrations that travel through the air. Okay, so you can pause the video if you need time to type that out. But the main thing is, I just want you to remember that sound is produced by vibrations. All right, slide 5. We're going to do the definitions together, and then you'll have to fill in the examples on your own. So a renewable resource, I just want you to do a very short, simple, and easy to remember definition. So what we're going to put is and I'm going to put can in big letters, can be replaced. And remember, it has to be able to be replaced in a human lifetime. Okay, so that's the definition that we're going to stick with for renewable resource because it's very short. And it's focused on the point that I want you to remember. And then so non-renewable resource would be the opposite of that. Cannot be replaced in a human lifetime. Okay? All right, so you can pause the video to fill those definitions in, but then you're doing the examples on your own. So you're going to come up with 5 examples of renewable resources and 5 of non-renewable.